Actually, we have a real high responsive list. Like I said, even like today, Armin's through some, we have a list of, 10,000 people. Now, of those 10,000 people, sometimes I have 3,000 people signing up for my telecalls. So of that, so I'm like, because Armin said, oh yeah, you might have 300 people. I'm like, 300 people? I was like, that's pretty low.
Yeah, but even Telman was telling me that, because I'm going to start doing a lot of teleseminars, and he was saying that a lot of people will sign up for the call,
right.
But to be on the call, I think
right.
is what maybe Armin was talking about, was 300 being on the call.
No, 3,000. 3,000. I mean, the typical standard out there, if you have 3,000 people on a you have 3,000 people sign up for a telecall, especially a free one, that's what we're talking about, you're going to have 1/3 of the people showing up for the call.
Really?
So that would be about 1,000 people.
So you have a lot of big seminars with that many people?
Yeah.
Teleseminars?
I'm having problems right now with my my company can't give me enough lines. We're having people emailing and complaining because we can't get enough. But another reason is, and even that's what the average person does. The average person does about 1/3 of the people that sign up for telecalls. And because our people, my people are trained. I've been doing telecalls for forever now, and they're trained. And I do calls, and so I have a lot of people that are doing that. A lot of our clients and things like that, or anybody really. But another thing that we do is we do something special. I have some strategies that actually pushes people more to getting on the call, because I'm not satisfied with 1/3, because that's what the average person does. So we do a lot more different, we do a lot more different things to get in front of them, to remind them to get on the call, so that we can make it happen, because you are running into competition at night. I don't know if you heard Troy McClain. He was on like The First Apprentice, and a lot of people really liked this guy. And anyway, I had Troy on during the time that he was on The Apprentice. So I had him on the call. Actually, no, it was right after The Apprentice. So his name was still out there and all this stuff. So I have him on. Well, actually, it's interesting because there's a huge buzz. Now, more people were passing it around, signing up for this telecall. We had a lot of people.
Yeah, so how'd you get Troy to how'd you explain hey, I can get this?
Leverage the list. I said, hey, listen, I put people on telecalls, on this call where people are going to be, he didn't know what a telecall was. I said, listen, I do this thing where you put people on a conference line. They're going to listen to you talk. I'll interview you. It's kind of like a radio format, but we have guaranteed listeners. And I had to explain it to him that way. And yeah, he agreed to it. He said he wanted to get on. He actually had a product that he was selling at the time. It was for credit repair.
Yeah.
And so we ended up I got him on there. We did it. And actually, it was funny because when we did that call, he was working, he was the MC at Donald Trump's birthday party the same night of the call. So he's at Donald Trump's birthday party doing this call, and I have the recording. Donald Trump's yelling at him on the call, telling him to get off because he needs to be going to take care of his guests. So we had to have somebody come in halfway through it and start talking the rest. But it was interesting because everybody loved it, and it started a huge buzz around having him on there. So it does real well. With that teleseminar built our list. This is the guy that had Troy on there. Just so it's leveraging other people's names. A lot of times too, when we do teleseminars, other people will promote the call to their list. Allowing you to capture those people's information so that you can market to them later on.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, people that sign up for teleseminars are pretty good. They like to buy stuff. They're more hyperactive than most of the other segments or parts of the list.
I would think so, because they're actually. And that just actually made me realize why they are. It's because they're the people that are really interested, and they're taking some action at least to learn as much as possible. And I know myself, I get on as many teleseminars to hear tips, to hear how they're speaking, how they're pitching, everything, because it's stuff that I want to learn.
Right.
And along the way, I get on as many calls as I can if I have time, or I just see it, and then it's I've never heard him speak. I want to get on or whatever. So, like I was telling you, I've been on a couple of yours, talking about list building and stuff like that. I've checked out all your stuff just because I was an info junkie for a little while there, and I finally took a lot more action along the way. I mean, I definitely was starting to take some action, but then I really lit a fire, So
implementation is the key. So.